Morning everyone, it's another fine day here. Well, not really fine, but it's not raining. It hasn't rained for like 4 weeks or something now. We're going to finish off that Q&A. We have to finish off that Q&A. Di2 or mechanical? I've never used mechanical. I've never used Di2, so I'd have to say mechanical. Do you tinker with your bike settings or leave them alone? I do tinker. I wouldn't say I tinker like a lot. I'm not like, remember like we used to read about Eddie Merckx, like always used to tinker all the time. I think Cavendish is the same like that as well now, but no, I don't really. I do and I don't. I mean, the only thing I tinker with is things that need adjusting, like my pedals might need tightening after a while. But things like, you know, saddle movement, no, I don't touch that. Is it hard being a pro cyclist in the UK? It depends what you mean by that. A good example is yesterday's race. Like, it's a National B, and you know, you're racing against a lot of people who don't get paid to ride the bikes. What happens is there's a lot of kind of a negative racing involved when you're like the only professional or one of 3 professionals in the race, and it kind of like everyone tends to watch you because you have that jersey in the back. And when I first signed for this team, like John Herity told me that, you know, you will find it difficult at first because, you know, you're riding with a Rafa Kondo GLT jersey on, now obviously GLT Kondo, and like people will always be looking at that jersey and they know the status of the team, they know how good we are, and it's like, that's not blowing air up us, I'm just saying how it is. You know, we are one of the most successful teams in the UK, but like when we go to races like that, like National B events, sometimes we are marked out, but then I suppose, you know, we have got bigger fish to fry. You know, we've got bigger races to do. Should I focus on my GCSEs or my racing, or should I find a balance between both and compromise with both? Well, I didn't start training properly until after my GCSEs. So I'd say just do it for fun while you're doing your GCSEs. Like, train, well, just ride your bike for fun. We had a good group of like guys that were my age when I first started. They've all like trickled out of the club now and they've kind of moved on with their life, but like I'm probably the only one of 2 that's still kind of in it. And yeah, we were doing our GCSEs and we just had fun on our bikes. We just rode around, we did the club runs, we did the odd chain gang and the odd long training ride on a weekend, but it wasn't like anything really structured. Midweek time trial, you know, but I just enjoyed it. I wasn't a huge fan of school, but like I think like GCSEs are important. They're something that, you know, you should always try and at least get right the first time round. And you know, things like A levels and stuff like that, I mean, you can come back to. I mean, I'm not saying that's the only way. I'm just saying like that A levels and things, you can come back to college, you know, or cycling you get one shot at it. GCSEs and things, A levels and, you know, university, you can have multiple shots at it. At the end of the day, like you're only ever going to be this fit once, you know what I'm saying? So like if I bailed out and did uni and I didn't finish uni at 23, I've missed out 5 years of being what I could possibly be the best cycling years of my life. Have you ever been scared during or before a race? Yes and yes. I'm always in the mindset that if you're scared, it can also mean that you're excited. See, adrenaline and fear run off the same hormones. So like, if you think you're scared, you're actually really excited. You're just full of adrenaline. It's like you just feel it in a different way. But yes, I have been scared during a race. Like, I'm pretty sure every rider gets it. I mean, like whenever there's a huge crash or something, it shakes you up for like 5 minutes. You have to move on from it as quickly as possible because otherwise it just eats away at you. But I'm sure we all get it to a certain extent, even if it's just like, you know, we come around a bend too fast and we like strain, we're nearly into the barrier, you know, that scares you for like, you know, 2 or 3 minutes, or the next few corners, like if you're doing a crit. But you've got to get over it. I think that's where some guys excel more than others, you know. The sooner you can get over something, the better you'll be. Favourite climb? I'd say the favourite climb I've ever done, or kind of the most obscure one, is Mount Fuji in Japan. But in terms of the local area, like, there's too many to choose from. It's so hilly around here that you know, can be any. There's so many of them. Favourite place to ride here, home, Llanelli for sure. I do really enjoy, like, when I travel and I get to ride in different places. I do love that. But it'll always be here, uphill or downhill. If it's a closed road and it's like, and I know the descent and it's really twisty and smooth tarmac, it'll be downhill. But if I'm going really well, like I'm absolutely flying, then uphill all day long. What's the best piece of advice you were ever given as a cyclist? Again, that was probably from my team manager. You never know how good you are. You know, you never know, like, especially in this sport, you know, a lot of the times the breaking point is in races is where people give up, or they, you know, they park up because they feel they haven't got anything left. But like when I was signed by the team at 18, I'd only been racing for a year and a half, and I still didn't know where my limitation. And John said to me, "You've got to keep pushing the boundary." That's why I did the Tour of Normandy when I was 18. You've got to keep pushing the boundary because you never ever know where that boundary is. And that's why also I did the Tour series that year, and I kind of, like, it ruined me. And there's always a saying with guys who do the Tour series: you either come out with it like absolutely flying, or you come out of it like, and you need to like stay away from the bike for 2 months. So it goes one way or the other, and unfortunately it went, you know, the other way for me. So, but it made me realise that, you know, you can push way beyond what you think you're capable of, and I think that's the most important thing to realise, especially when you're, you know, a young athlete. How do you get an FTP of 350 watts? Is it by doing certain sessions, or just by keeping training for years? There's an element of that. There is an element of just training and training and training, but there's lots of guys local here, you know, they're just club cyclists who have an FTP of 350 watts. The trick is to have a 350 FTP when you're, you know, sub 60 kilos, or when you're low 60 kilos. That's the trick. So I'd say, like, the best form of training for you is either like upper zone 3, like if you use a power meter or heart rate monitor, kind of the same thing. Upper zone 3 training, and you can do like 1 hour blocks of that, to be fair, because they don't really take a lot of you. Then just above that upper zone 3 there's a sweet spot. Now you can do like 2 25-minute blocks of that with like 20 minutes rest in between. That's really good for you as well. Or if you want to, actually I'm doing training this week kind of based on this. If you want to do like 2 or 3 20-minute blocks at FTP, at threshold. Cycling Darren 37 asks, my season goals or targets and the race I'm most looking forward to. I can't see that, but I'm gonna make a separate video on that very soon. I want to summarize what's happening in the next month so that you kind of get the picture, you know what's going on. But yeah, that kind of concludes our Q&A. It's taken a while, but there was a lot of questions. Serves me right really for not answering you all in the comment section, but I feel like doing it like this allows me to answer better. Does that make sense? Anyway, hope you enjoyed. If you did, give this video a Facebook thumbs up, and yeah, leave a comment. I shall see you tomorrow.